Good morning and God bless you all in the wonderful name of Jesus Christ. And today is a real wonderful day. And I was really sitting with God this morning. I was doing my confessions and I actually recorded a lot of my confessions. And when we really decide that we're really going to confess unto wholeness, it really lifts us up. It really, God gives us the words that we can speak around us. You know, we are blessed when we lie down, we're blessed when we rise up, we're blessed when we come in, we're blessed when we go out. Money comes to us in increasing quantities through multiple avenues on a continual basis because God is the source of our supply. You know, there are, our enemies may become before me one way, but they flee before me 7 ways. And God is maybe wiser than my enemies, and my enemies become at peace with me. And there's so many wonderful things that we could be speaking. We can pray upon our children, we can confess. We can confess about their lives. And it is so important that we recognize that, okay, we could go about our daily lives and just be speaking. But these words that we speak have a creative force, negative or positive. And if you're really going to put yourself into the things that God wants you to, into the word, into his what he says live time today, if you're listening to what God is saying, then you know that the encouragement is so important, that what we put in is what we're going to get out. What we speak is what's going to happen. And our words are powerful. It's just like if you are continue saying this always happens, or, I can never catch up, then you're continually creating this, and it will never become better until you really decide, okay, enough is enough. I'm really going to use my words to have a real positive effect on my life. I'm not going to let my past or even what I done last week move me from my calling, move me from my purpose, move me from the way I am speaking. I'm not going to let a negative situation then affect me, that I can't move forward and move into the purpose that God has called me to move in. And when we decide, we decide and we make committed decisions with God. This is about making committed decisions. We can make decisions, but are you really committed in them? Are you saying, no matter what goes on, absolutely no matter what, I'm going to do exactly what is encouraged. I'm really going to put myself into the great words that God gives me to speak. I'm really going to put myself into the fundamental things that God has given me. God gives us things that we can do to ensure that we are really building ourselves up to then build others up around us, to then ensure that we're living the right life, and that's not, we can't have fun. I have great fun. I have, with our words, we can really have fun with the confessions, have fun with speaking in tongues, sing in tongues, and just make things joyful. And sometimes we may, when we put ourselves fully into our purpose, then things may come up to try and take us off course. But that's then a choice that we make. Are we going to let this have the effect? Are we going to, still carry on doing this if it's then going to have an effect on our calling? And it's really deciding what is important and what's not. It's really deciding with God, okay, today I'm really not going to let that affect me anymore. Okay, I'm really going to move forward with this. And God has me on a healing journey, and He really have really pointed out the major issue that I've been dealing with. So I feel it's a little bit it's a bit hard for me to express, because I don't want me to I don't want other people to get upset by how maybe what may be going on with me may then have a effect of how I speak. But okay, it goes back to when I was when I was young, I guess. My parents split up, and I feel from a young age I've had issues of abandonment issues that then can really that can actually have an effect on so much. Because then if you've got an issue with this, if you've got an issue with feeling of people leaving, or you're not good enough, you're not worthy because of the most important people or person that should have been there wasn't there, then that could really have a negative effect. And then this can spiral out of the need of you having to be accepted. And having to be accepted for you may be completely different to me. Mine was definitely to do with my look, with having to be a certain weight, with having to mount up. Okay, there's a few things that obviously I don't want to, I wouldn't accept, like messing around with my face or etc. But I will always try and look good. I will always try and be as slim as I can be. And sometimes this can be to an extreme. I can remember when I used to go out a lot. And I used to be on a bender as such, and I used to say to myself, "It's okay. I'll just do another day. At least I won't eat for this next day." And it's been an issue for a very long time that Becky has not actually recognised. But it was only up until the other day when I sat and I was very tearful, and I just said, "God, like, what is this? What?" I know I'm healing from quite a lot of things, and I just want to know what is that one thing, what is that pinnacle one thing that actually I haven't maybe deeply looked into myself and recognised. And when I sat and I wrote pen to paper, then the abandonment issue really come out, and I was like, wow, I really never recognised that this was, within myself, I thought I'm over it. Like I haven't really I'm fine with it, I've healed. But now, like, I have not got anything negative to say about the people of the past as such. Like in that past area, it was just a time that I went through that then built up, you need to be accepted. And I feel like I was definitely in an era where being accepted was you had to look a certain way. Social media is definitely really rife. I don't strive to be someone else, because I've never tried to be someone else. I always want to be Becky. I always want to be authentically me, and I want to be able to teach people and show people you can still have issues, still can be healing with God. You still can have this, but God will show up. He will show up so you can teach other people. And God is here. God is here for you to sit down, to deeply look, understand the paradigms, the things that may hold you back, for you to get over it, for then you to really be able to teach others. And that could be so small for for other people. But for me, it was an issue that laid with me for so long, that I've only just found out at 33, you know, that actually this is why I still have certain things that maybe I have certain things that maybe I need to say, okay, it's okay if, you know, if the scales go up a little bit, it's okay of this. And I'm definitely more accepting of me than I ever have been, which is so fantastic. But there's still some, you know, people go to extreme lengths to be who they strive to be within the outside. But it's a very big learning curve, because this is nothing to do about the way you look. God is nothing to do about the way you look. He looks at the heart, and he looks at about who you are in the inside. And I always know this, it's just an issue that laid with me that actually can spiral completely out of control. You know, that there was a fear basis that I run, and I go to the gym, and, you know, I would then not spend the time necessarily with God, because I would put myself into that. And I would stop my calling because of inside need for me. So we don't want to get obsessed with things. It's good to be fit. Not saying that it's good to be slit. It's good to really look after yourself. I'm completely for that. Look after yourself. Ensure you really put yourself first in those areas of eating the right things, of really, you know, doing what is right for you. But don't go over, you know. I used to spend hours and hours and hours running, but now God puts everything into perspective. He shows you balance, which is so great, because I can remember having a one-on-one, and my minister said, God's going to really show you balance. I used to think, I didn't really understand how God, and step by step this year, he's shown me what the most important thing is. The most important thing is what we're doing right now is God. You know, whether the way you look, whether whatever that may be, you know, you are beautiful, you are loved, you are worthy, you really are. And I'm truly starting to believe this. You can be confident in who you are, no matter if you've gone up in weight a little bit, no matter if, like, you do not, we should not strive to look perfect on the outside, because it only gives you a small amount of you know, it only gives you a small amount of what's the word, like, you feel great about yourself, but that's the only smallest little bit. What is, you can look absolutely wonderful but feel absolutely awful inside. So it's definitely about a balance of what we're doing. And if you're not there spiritually, and you're not because you're putting things over God, then really put him first in everything that you're doing. And this is definitely a journey that God has put me on a personal, is such a personal journey that each and every one of us are on. That when we dedicate ourselves to putting God first, but putting ourselves first with God, you know, because if you're not okay, your neighbor can't be okay. You can't make that other person next to you feel okay. You know, I mean, if you're not like doing great, then that can really come out, and not actually that can have a negative effect upon your household. So really, by putting God first and learning that putting him first is so important for yourself. You know, that actually, we can feel off every now and again, but really check yourself. Are you doing the 5 fundamental things? You know, are you doing the things that God wants you to do? And, you know, are you also looking after yourself? Which, when we can look and we can see and do a checkup from the neck up, that, you know, it goes spiritually, physically, mentally, you know. And if all these things all match up, so really we all want the balance of this. We want to be completely spiritually aware. We want to be spiritually on point with God, and we want to ensure that what we're doing is we're really pushing ourselves fully into that. Even now, I really understand, even if I had to, God says, right, you need to stop your running, you need to stop gym, and you need to do this. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I'm a disciplined one, so I will discipline myself and say, okay, God, you must have something better for me, or there must be a big reason why you're telling me not to do this. So when we look at this, and we did, not that I believe that he would do this, but if that was the path and the calling that he said, I'm at the point now to say there's nothing more important than this. There's nothing more important. I'm not spending hours and hours and hours now. I'll spend an hour at the gym, but I will be ensure that God is put first. That I'm not forgetting what I have to do. This is my job, you know. This is my work that God has called me to do, and I can really give such great information to others because I've been through a lot. I've been through it. I've done it. If you've more likely done it, if you've done it, I've more likely done it. You know, and God puts you on a journey, and I'm very wise to understand and to know the different things that each person can go through, the carnal things that we can all go through. And if there's something that you go through, whether that's depression, whether that's anxiety, whether that's a breakdown, I had a breakdown at the age of 23. I was young, like real young, 23. And that's hard. Like, and I look back and I think there's such great information to others because I've been through a lot. I've been through it. I've done it. If you've more likely done it, if you've done it, I've more likely done it, you know. And God puts you on a journey, and I'm very wise to understand and to know the different things that each person can go through, the carnal things that we can all go through. And if there's something that you go through, whether that's depression, whether that's anxiety, whether that's a breakdown, I had a breakdown at the age of 23. I was young, like real young, 23. And that's hard. Like, and I look back and I think, wow, you know, and so mentally I was never really okay until 5 years ago. I sat and I knew that was my time. I have 2 children to look after, and I need to ensure that I'm putting them first in what I'm doing, and I make sure that I'm putting God first. By putting God first, I put them first, I put myself first. And it's important what we do. It's important what we're doing with our time. We're using our time wisely. We're not just sat scrolling, doing something that's not going to benefit us. If you need healing, come for a healing journey with God, because he really wants each and every one of us to heal, to grow, and to learn into who he's called us to be.